Uh, Thank you. My name is Harry Souvall. I'm the section chief for the public lands section. In my section, we have attorneys that I'm very proud to work with. Roger Fairbanks is our most senior attorney. We have Tony Rampton, Anthony Rampton, Chris Lacombe, and Kathy Davis. That's in addition to the Plipco staff, and I also want to commend them for their hard work. Everybody involved has been working on this project because of its size and the enormity of what the task is. The task was to document and verify historical roads throughout the state of Utah on BLM lands. I want to show you a map actually of, on the wall over here, and I think we've got a copy of her here, are what I call as an example of the Rich County roads. This is the southern part of the county below Bear Lake to the county line. If you don't have electronically, it's over here on the wall. The reason we did that is just because there have been other maps circulating that I think make it look like everything is red. We've put the roads in red to show you, in fact, what those roads look like on a countywide map, and you're free to look at that after the press conference, but that's an example. What I want to talk about essentially is what we did to go through and verify these roads. And I've got a map up here as an example of what this was actually an exhibit in the Kane County road case. But before we get there, I want to show you this. These are United States Geological Service orthophoto quads. They're flyovers taken, and they're dated when they're taken. On here, we've taken, the state of Utah has digitized these statewide. They're historical imagery dated 1976, summer 77 era that will show what was on the ground at this time. We put those on a digital system, and then what we did is we had assigned people in the public lands office, AGRC, and county representatives, and they use these devices. This goes on the roof of a car, or more appropriately, probably a four-wheel drive, and it takes a GPS reading. This part reads it, and they drive down to the point that this is probably as close to the center line of any road as it can get. Then this provide a GPS reading, which are these blue lines. Now, this is to verify that the road exists today. On occasions, they could not drive the roads, either because they were closed or for whatever reason. They have a similar backpack unit where they can walk, and it'll take the same readings. These GPS coordinates are then loaded into the system, and they're verified using GPS software, and they're overlaid on the maps we have. What we do to verify now is we take this process, and you can lift the layer showing the roads and compare it to the historical imagery. This is an exhibit used in the Kane County Bald Knoll case. It involves the Upper Mill Creek Road, the Mill Creek Road, the Oak Canyon, and the Tenney Creek roads. And as you can see on here, go ahead and put the layer back on. You can verify that the blue line is the GPS data. If you take it off, you can see what was on the ground in 1976. I think this picture was taken in July of 1976, and compare the two. It tells you that the GPS data, whenever it was taken, and I think this was taken sometime in 2002, 2003 range, shows the same route. It was on the ground in 1976. This process was done with almost every road that are going to show up in the lawsuits to verify, in fact, they were on the ground. I can't say every single road, but almost all of them have had this verification. Let's go to the USGS maps. After we've looked to see if they're on the ground in 1976, we look at something earlier called the United States Geographical Service topographical map. If any of you have used these are maps showing terrain and whatnot. We did the same thing. We took these, only we took a specific date involved in this so that you can show that the historical map was what the United States Geological Service had in 1966, which I think is the date of this map. It's down in the corner document. And then we digitized these and we overlaid them with the same GPS data. Now this map here was in fact printed in 1966, taken from aerial imagery in 1964. And it shows that which roads were on the ground according to the United States Geological Service at the time the map was printed or created. And again, this was 66. Let's remove that data. On each of these, you can see that the roads that were in that lawsuit show up as roads in the legend of the map. Go ahead and overlay it again on these maps. Other roads show up. As you can see, it continues on, although in all three instances, it continues on to private property, and we're not suing or bringing lawsuits on any roads on private property. So the road claim ends where the private property begins in all three instances. Again, if you take that off, you can see the three roads actually follow almost exactly the same alignments that the United States identified as a road in 1966 on its own mapping. Finally, we have been interviewing hundreds of witnesses about the historical use of these roads. The counties and the Utah Association of Counties has been sponsoring open houses for people to come in and look at maps like this, the Rich County map, and answer questions as to when they were on these roads, what their purposes were to be on these roads, and what they did. And in the course of that, Chris Lacombe met the Christiansen family. He was looking at the question of roads in the Ibapaw area, and I want to introduce you to Jay Christiansen, and he can introduce his family members who are here, and he's going to talk about his roads and the roads near their ranch, and we'll show you some pictures we have of that. So if you would come up now, Jay, would appreciate that.